Daaji, Pranam, Namaste. It's indeed a great honor and joy to be in the midst of all of you, in the presence of Daaji, and be able to share together these moments of inner peace and silence, commuting and communicating and communion with the divine that is within us all. That divine value that manifests in all aspects of our life, and that as human beings we have the privilege to be able to directly experience that we are that wholeness, totality, aham brahmasmi, and know that everything is wholeness and totality, sarvam kalvidam brahm. And as humans, we are having the faculty to know that, to experience that. And that what unifies us with everything, with each other, with the environment, with past, present, and future, with indeed the entire field of manifestation. And the highest value of this unification is an expression of love, an expression of feeling, an expression of the heart. And that is our great joy, to be in the midst of the heartfulness that Daaji has so beautifully seen as a visionary and created on the field of physical presence in that grand environment that is the expression of his vision and his feelings and the expression of the divine will, that we all can be one and we all can see that we are one family, as the beautiful Vedic tradition tells us, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is something that in this presence today, we feel it not only on the intellectual level of analysis and thinking, or on even the feeling level alone, which is a beautiful transition from intellectual analysis to actually being. And it is on that level of being that field of unbounded awareness, being that field of Satchit Ananda, which is the source of all, that field of Ananda Dyeva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayanti, that field from which comes everything, to which everything evolves, and into which everything ends and finds its fulfillment, happening on the platform of feeling, thinking, experiencing, and ultimately all on the platform of being. So today we have with us, all of you present in this auspicious grand assembly this morning, and as you know, with the blessings of His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who has given us the technologies of transcendence from the Vedic tradition, We have come here in the place that attracted us, the place of the heart, the place of peace and unity, of simplicity, of being, just tasting together, experiencing together the oneness of life and wanting to see it spread in our dear world so that all differences are seen and experienced on the level of the unity of life, which you all uphold and which Daaji has so beautifully devoted this place and his vision and his life to achieve for the whole world. Our people are coming from 132 countries, 134 actually, exactly, I think. And they are here feeling your blessings in every way, in the atmosphere, in the structure, but also in everyone that we have met, everyone that has talked to us, that has extended a helping hand when we need it. The homes have been opened for us, the facility, and our people are delighted, are honored to be able to perform together these technologies of consciousness that have been scientifically shown to improve individual life and beyond, spread that reality and the collective awareness of the population of the world. We have a formula of the square root of 1% that we have found scientifically to create the effect. World population is about 8.1 billion, and the square root of 1% of that is 9,000. So that is why we are assembled as 10,000 with a small safety factor, because some of those practitioners might be sleeping, waking, dreaming, depending on the state of rest and the state of activity. And so we hope that they will have at least 9,000 transcending. And transcending is to go beyond all differences, all surface values, and reach that being which is the soul of everything, the reality of all that there is, that consciousness, that Atma, that unifies every ahamkar, every buddhi, every manas. From that value of Atma, unifying individual life in a coherent way and enlivening that through the practice of technologies of consciousness, such as the siddhis, which come from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, using the Samyama program. And what we have found is this relationship of the square root of 1%. Problems reduce, conflicts reduce, hospital admissions, accidents of the roads reduce in whatever small population that is having the effect based on, of course, this formula, this number. So there is a critical number, and that critical number is the square root of 1%. So we bow down to Daaji and to all of you in gratitude for receiving us, for having us amongst yourselves. And we look forward that this effect will happen and will be another demonstration of the effectiveness of the Vedic tradition, knowledge from the ancient Veda that is coming from this land, Vedabhumi Bharat, Devabhumi Bharat. And that is where all the laws of nature can be enlivened in their fullness, and the infinite power of natural law can achieve unity in diversity, can unify, can create fullness and wholeness and softening of the world consciousness, which is really needed today in a great, important, urgent way, as many feel uncomfortable about possibilities of conflict expanding. We want at least to stop it, reduce it, and the Vedic knowledge that we have and that has been scientifically, repeatedly tried and proven to work can achieve the goal. And we look forward that this assembly, at least the numbers of people that are participating in such an assembly, will be maintained permanently so that the light stays clear and light and open and doesn't dim away as the assembly withers away. And so we are looking forward with the blessings of Daaji and all the spiritual leaders of this Veda Bhumi Bharat to maintain this program on a permanent basis. Tat Sannidhao Vairatyagaha, in the presence of peace, in the presence of harmony, in the presence of yoga, all tendencies that are not life-supporting, they disappear. And that is the blessings of the tradition that is from this pure land. And again, we express our gratitude and fulfillment to be with you, to be among you, and to be able to demonstrate the power of peace in creating peace rather than the power of war and conflict in an attempt to create peace. Namaste and Jai Gurudev.
Very dear, most respected, revered Sri Ram Raja ji, Rajaraam ji, all loved ones present here, very dear sisters and brothers, we are all pilgrims towards the holiest center of our being. We all crave for happiness, we all crave for peace. Even animals, birds, they crave for peace and tranquility. Problems of the world, when we look at it from a practical point of view, it all emerges out of misunderstanding, wrong thinking, dishonesty, and things of that nature. The root of the problem is in the mind and the heart. Mind and the heart, one is superficial part, another is a deeper part. Mind is the superficial part of the heart, and heart is the deepest core of the mind, if we look upon it in that way. The role of the mind can never be ignored because it helps us to think, it helps us to intellectualize, it helps us to logically come to some practical conclusions. When we use heart, the instrument of feelings, instrument of intuition, and when both the feelings, the conscience of the heart and the logic of the mind, they come together, we make the best decisions. With that in mind, Lord Krishna also talks about how can you be happy. He gives an advice to Arjun. Can you be happy when you are restless? He answers with questions. Can you have restlessness in the absence of harmony? Can there be harmony without the contemplative mind? Can there be contemplative mind without the focus? And can there be focused mind without training the mind through meditation? Now you can connect the dots. Often youngsters ask us this fundamental question, the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? Often we give different answers to different people. When you think deeply over it, only one answer comes. It is the evolution of consciousness. Physically, how far can you grow? Can you evolve at a physical level? We can only age during the lifetime that we have. Genetically, to evolve, it will take millions of years, and that too limited to this environment. Adjustment. Soul cannot evolve because it is perfect in itself, it is immutable, the purest. And hence, rishis of our land came to this fundamental conclusion that it is the consciousness alone that can evolve. Now, one would ask the question, what is this consciousness made up of, and what is consciousness? When scientists are today struggling to find what consciousness is all about, our rishis were talking about it, it was a fashion amongst the people of those days to talk about consciousness. Every householder was busy talking of consciousness. Rama and Lakshman, Mother Sita, then they were walking in the forest, they were talking of consciousness. The ancient text between Raja Janaka and Astavakra depicts consciousness. Rishi Vasishtha, his commentary on consciousness is still going on, Vasishtha Sanhita. And all those, Rama, Janaka, Vasishtha, they belong to the same period. So you can imagine the glory of our people. Now when we focus on what can influence this consciousness, there are only three things. Manas, Buddhi and Ahankar, affecting the Chitta. Chitta can be taken up as consciousness as well as the heart. What comes in the way? What becomes of the mind when it evolves, while consciousness evolves? What becomes of the intellect, the buddhi, as it evolves? And what becomes of the ego as it evolves? Thinking mind can enter into the zone of the heart and begins to feel, begins to experience. So the shift is important, shifting from thinking mind to the feeling heart. Next, buddhi, intellect. As it evolves, it follows these steps, becomes intelligence, covers the path of wisdom, the intuition. And ego also refines itself, though it's a shadow of the self. It evolves from my centeredness, my self, to we, to thou. I no longer self-centered and say I, or even aham brahmasmi. That also sounds like egoistic statement. But one does feel on the path that I am also expanding. Brahman means expansion and contemplation. So we begin to expand at a consciousness level. Not just I, we. When we translate and when we move away from, when we transcend this I-ness, aham brahmasmi, then we begin to experience all are Brahman. And the next stage of transcendence would be all are from Brahman. So people claiming, experiencing it, aham brahmasmi, you have stagnated yourself. Similarly, a person saying, I am enjoying this Satchitanand state, which is true, but it has its own limitations. It's like a toy in the hands of a yogi. Just as children play with toys, they entertain themselves with toys. Likewise, youth, they're too busy with romance. That is their toy. My master Babuji Maharaj used to say, even consciousness, Satchitanand state, is also a toy in the hands of a yogi. One must transcend that. One has to find out the potentiality, what is behind the consciousness, what is it that supports the consciousness. Delve into that and follow this continuous path of transcendence. I love this term. I have said this with our respected Ramarajaji, and I love this term coined by Maharshi Mahesh Yogi ji. Transcendence. Life is nothing but this continuous transcendence. When we follow religion, we are dogmatic. We have our strong beliefs. When we enter the zone, when we transcend religion and enter spirituality, we begin to experience what is taught in the books. And as we experience, that also frustrates us. The example before you I would like to put is that of your vacation at the residence of a very wealthy person, where you enjoy hospitality of such a wealthy person, experience is great. Yes, I love the experience of being with my wealthy friend. No worries, no tension, no stress. But deep down, you'd also think, I wish I was also as rich, or maybe more. So the idea shifts from mere experiencing to becoming. So now we move away from thinking to experiencing to becoming. This becoming is also a kind of stress. We enter into non-being and into being, which transcends all bliss. Even bliss becomes happiness. I'm sorry. Even bliss becomes a state of frustration. You want to renunciate that also. So there is continuous transcendence, and God knows how and when it will ever end. All this plays out in the field of expansion. When we talk of the universe being created from that singularity, does that singularity still exist? I don't think so. Singularity has now expanded into this multifarious universe, multidimensional universe. In this universe, who can say I am at the top of the universe and someone is at the bottom of the universe? There is no difference. Be happy wherever you are and keep moving, transcend all the time. I have also, through the inspiration of our great masters, has written down a New Year's message. I would like to share it with you all, but I won't be able to read it. But this booklet is available in our bookstore. Kindly make yourself free to avail it. You can also download it from our Heartfulness site and read it. The crux of the matter is what we do affects our vibration, our energy field. Our energy field affects our surrounding. And the most impactful of our vibrations affect are our own people, meaning our own genetically similar individuals, our parents, our children, our family. And this again reminds us that old proverb that the sins of the father affects the children. And it is so true. The behavior, the actions, lifestyle of a father is going to haunt the children. Even after you pass on, it will haunt them because this energy field cannot be destroyed. It will go on chasing. And likewise, the behavior of children affecting upward. We affect each other. We are all connected. Somehow we have to dissolve these differences, transcend those differences. Only then you can move higher and higher. Can you move? Can you jump? I have seen people levitating here trying to make hops. If I tie 2 kilo weights or 5 pounds weight on each leg, would you be able to do it? No. With the burden that we carry with our bodies and more burden that we carry within ourselves, which is not so visible, when we transcend that, we somehow move towards states which are described in our holy scriptures, moving into consciousness, packed with desires and greed, vengeful attitude and jealousy. These are all burdens. They cannot help us. They cannot let us fly higher in the sky of consciousness. Whatsoever we do will affect our surroundings and mostly our own people, our own family. So watch it. Let's make a resolution that how we can refine our consciousness, how we can refine our energy field and allow it to resonate with the center of all, the quantum field, the energy field, which is also a very dear subject of discussion to our very revered Ram Rajaji. Rajaraam ji, I keep shifting this word. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm not because both are very prevalent in India. Ram Raj and Rajaram both. So, and I hope this is not the first time we are gathering here. We will meditate together as and when opportunities does arise. Earlier, I wanted to start with a talk. My dear sisters and brothers from Transcendental Meditation and sisters and brothers from Heartfulness. But if I had spoken like that, then I'm differentiating you and that's not me. So I stopped it. And I said, that's why I said, we are all one and we definitely will work together and hopefully, as you have also dreamt, that many more spiritually awakened people will come together and change the face of this earth. May God bless us all. Thank you.